Africa, land of ancient rivers, gold-laden earth, and unyielding spirit. In the shadow of empire, new dawns broke as leaders rose. Kwame Nkrumah inspiring unity in Ghana, Patrice Lumumba igniting hope in Congo, Thomas Sankara planting seeds of revolution in Burkina Faso, Amilcar Cabral rallying for freedom in Guinea-Bissau, Samora Machel forging resilience in Mozambique. Their vision sovereignty, dignity, a future shaped by African hands. Their reforms challenged foreign power and profit. Western interests answered with shadowy coups, silenced voices, shattered dreams. Yet, in city streets and villages, in classrooms and fields, their ideals pulse, refusing to die. Like the baobab standing tall through storms, their legacy endures, echoing in every call for justice, in every voice demanding Africa's true liberation. Africa's independence dawns, flags rise, crowds cheer, hope vibrates in the air. Visionary leaders step forward: Patrice Lumumba in Congo, Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana, Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso, Amilcar Cabral in Guinea-Bissau, Samora Machel in Mozambique. Each dreams of true sovereignty, control of resources, unity, dignity, and a future shaped by African hands. Yet as celebrations echo, neo-colonial forces tighten their grip. Resource maps become battlegrounds, foreign interests conspire in shadowed corridors. Coups erupt, assassins strike, plane crashes silence voices. Lumumba is murdered, Sankara betrayed, Cabral felled, Machel lost in wreckage, Nkrumah cast into exile. Their bodies fall, but their ideas endure, seeds rooting in African soil, carried on the wind of resistance. "You cannot kill ideas," Sankara declared. The struggle for genuine freedom continues, rising in every march, every anthem. These visions remain immortal, echoing through generations and refusing to die beneath the African sun. In the mid-20th century, Africa awoke to the rhythm of liberation. Independence parades wove through city streets. New flags rose against the sky, symbols of a continent casting aside the shadows of empire. Hope surged as leaders and citizens alike dreamed of unity and self-determination. Among them stood Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's guiding star. "We have won political freedom, but let us remember political independence is meaningless unless it is linked with economic independence. We must reclaim our own resources, shape our own destiny." This conviction breathed life into Pan-Africanism, urging nations to look beyond borders and join in pursuit of true sovereignty. Council chambers echoed with the promise of unity, and the Organization of African Unity became the vessel for continental ambition. Yet, as celebrations faded, challenges emerged. Former colonial powers and Cold War giants maneuvered to keep Africa dependent, courting elites and shaping economic agreements for their own advantage. The heart of the struggle shifted from flags to mines, ports, and industries. Africa's wealth remained a prize for foreign hands. Rising action took root in alliances forged by leaders determined to press for economic liberation. The quest was not simply for self-rule, but for control over the continent's destiny. Resolution grew in the quiet determination of those who understood that real independence demands more than ceremony. It requires reclaiming what was lost and building what was denied. Finale. As sunlight played upon new flags, Africa's journey continued unfolding in every effort to unite, to shape its own future, and to transform the promise of freedom into lasting reality. The true battle was economic, and in its pursuit, the spirit of Pan-Africanism burned ever brighter. A new dawn rises over Congo as Patrice Lumumba stands before the nation. The air trembles with hope and tension. His words, bold as thunder, reverberate. No one will ever forget the brutality, the wounds, the stolen riches. King Baudouin listens, stone-faced. Lumumba's dream is clear: the wealth of Congo will serve its people. Lumumba demands justice for Congo. Beneath Congo's soil lie minerals the world desires: uranium from Shinkolobwe, copper, cobalt, diamonds. Foreign powers watch anxiously as Lumumba vows to reclaim these treasures for the Congolese. In Washington and Brussels, cables urge urgent removal. Foreign nations target Congo's minerals. Parliament becomes a battleground. Allies falter, enemies encircle. Lumumba's vision unsettles the global order. The machinery of intervention stirs, and the nation's future wavers. Congo's democracy under threat. Under shrouded stars, soldiers gather. Mobutu, once an ally, takes command. Power shifts with quiet betrayal. Lumumba is seized, silenced by those he sought to challenge. Mobutu's coup changes everything. January 1961. Lumumba's final path leads to Katanga's blood-red earth. His voice is stilled. World headlines echo with regret, while Congo's minerals still flow outward. Lumumba pays the ultimate price, yet Lumumba's legacy endures etched in walls, sung in streets, held in hearts. History will have its say. Congo continues the struggle for sovereignty and justice, remembering the martyr who dreamed for all. His vision lives on in Congo. Subscribe for more stories from Congo's past and join us for the next episode. Stay tuned as we explore Congo's journey, its challenges, and the voices that shaped a nation. Join us in the next episode for a deeper look at how Congo's spirit survived and transformed through history. In the shimmering heat of West Africa, a new dawn rises over a land once called Upper Volta. Thomas Sankara, soldier-poet, steps forward, his eyes bright with conviction. At the nation's rebirth, he lifts the new flag red, green, gold Burkina Faso land of upright people. A modest Renault 5 leads his convoy. Sometimes Sankara pedals a simple bicycle. He refuses luxury, slashes his own salary, and bans his portrait from offices. His power lies in principle, not gold. Change spreads swift as the Harmattan wind. In clinics, nurses wield vaccines, shielding 2 million children from disease. In sunlit classrooms, chalk dust swirls as literacy blossoms. Across arid plains, villagers dig, planting 10 million trees to anchor the earth. His revolution centers women. In cabinet meetings and village courts, women find their voice and power. Forced marriage falls. Female genital mutilation is outlawed. Markets fill with local cotton and handmade tools overlaying the hope, vaccines, literacy, reforestation, women's rights. Foreign financiers beckon, but Sankara stands firm. He tells the world, "He who feeds you controls you." Debt, he declares, is another chain Burkina Faso will forge its strength through self-reliance, not borrowed aid, but shadows gather. October 15, 1987. Boots thunder down government halls, papers whirl, gunfire cracks. An empty chair bears the nameplate President Sankara silenced by a coup led by his former comrade, Blaise Compaoré. Headlines mourn lost dreams. Foreign delegations return, hands clasped in cautious agreement. Revolution interrupted, the screens proclaim. Yet Sankara's spirit endures. On city streets, young voices paint murals, chanting his name. In classrooms, his words echo. His vision, dignity, justice, self-reliance still stirs hearts. He who feeds you controls you. Across 20th century Africa, a pattern emerges. Leaders rise brilliant, determined, driven by visions of justice and sovereignty. Amilcar Cabral, architect of Guinea-Bissau's liberation, built a movement from the villages up. Months before independence, he was shot by his own ranks, insiders influenced by shadows beyond the border. Samora Machel, Mozambique's resolute president, defied apartheid's reach. In 1986, his aircraft fell from the sky. South Africa's later inquiry uncovered a false beacon sabotage woven into the night. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first leader, championed African unity. While abroad, a coup displaced him. Economic pressure, covert channels, media storms all played their part. Factories stalled, ports emptied, clinics and classrooms lost resources and hope. The cycle repeats: infiltrate, destabilize, remove, reverse. Movements fractured from within. Debt weaponized. Media and markets bent to external will. Policy, once rooted in self-determination, recast to favor outside interests. Scenes shift: students in bare classrooms, nurses counting dwindling supplies, families facing closed gates. Yet memory endures. In archives, young activists digitize histories, seeking lessons in each document scanned. The playbook is not fate. The next generation examines the record, forging new paths beyond old patterns. Across Africa, the legacy of visionaries like Patrice Lumumba and Thomas Sankara endures. Their voices echoed the promise of dignity, unity, and true independence. Though their lives were cut short, their ideas persist, woven into the fabric of a continent still striving for self-determination. Today, new generations confront challenges that carry the weight of history. Trade imbalances, debt traps, and external interference reshape the path to sovereignty. In youth forums and crowded workshops, the search for solutions continues. Activists audit policies and demand transparency, determined to challenge systems that favor global interests over local futures. Grassroots innovation flourishes in community cooperatives, local manufacturing, and technology hubs. Across villages and cities, neighbors unite building solar microgrids, launching agro-processing ventures, and sharing knowledge. These acts of solidarity transform aspirations into tangible progress, reinforcing the movement for enduring change. Murals of fallen leaders fade into the faces of those carrying the torch today. The struggle for justice and autonomy persists not only in protest, but in creation, accountability, and everyday resilience. While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas. The fight continues. Audit history. Challenge unfair systems. Shape solutions in your community. Join the movement, subscribe, share, and let your voice be heard. Africa's future is still being written. Across generations, Africa's heartbeat has echoed in the courage of its visionaries. Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Amilcar Cabral, Samora Machel, Patrice Lumumba. Each face in this mosaic forged a path towards freedom, justice, and dignity. But their dreams were met with daunting obstacles: division, oppression, and betrayal. Many paid the highest price. Still, their legacy endures, calling each new generation to remember and to act. Their stories are not relics. They are fuel for a living movement. When we speak their names, share their visions, and pass their words from hand to hand, we breathe new life into the cause of liberation. Today, you are called to honor these heroes not with silence, but with action. Share this story. Subscribe for more untold chapters of Africa's journey. In the comments, name the leader who inspires you most, and tell us why. Your voice turns memory into movement. History will have its say. Patrice Lumumba, the dream endures, the work continues. Add your voice, let history hear it.